Malaysia, hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Julai and you're watching News at 10. In our top stories tonight, 4 urgent projects in Baling to prevent flash floods from recurring. All ministries told to fine-tune strategic communications. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob flew to the Turkish capital today to start the second part of his official visit to Turkey. The special aircraft carrying Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri and his delegation from Istanbul touched down at the Ankara Esenboga International Airport at 11:10 a.m. local time. The Premier was received by Turkish Minister of National Defence Hulusi Akar before inspecting a guard of honour. Also present were Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Abdullah, Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Adham Baba, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Special Functions Dato Dr. Abdul Latif Ahmad, and Deputy Governor of Ankara Berke Govciner. Today, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri will visit the country's 2 major players in defence and aerospace, MKE Corporation and Turkish Aerospace Industries TAI respectively. Tomorrow, he is scheduled to have a 4-eyed meeting with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan at the presidential complex in Ankara, followed by a Malaysia-Turkey delegation meeting. The Ministry of Environment and Water KASA is going to implement 4 urgent projects worth RM203 million in Baling Kedah to prevent the flash floods incident from recurring. Minister Datuk Seri Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man said the projects were based on the assessment made by KASA Secretary General Datuk Seri Dr. Zaini Ujang, as well as Irrigation and Drainage Department Director General Datuk Dr. Mat Nasir Mat Noh, who visited the flood location yesterday to assess the impact of the disaster and to draw up a mitigation plan.
Kita telah pun lulus segera untuk tindakan segeralah bagi pemulihan kawasan-kawasan yang kritikal, bukan 6 juta, termasuk untuk kita bina Gavian dan sebagainya, kawasan-kawasan yang agak kritikal. Sebenarnya kita di peringkat kementerian kita ada 2 projek besar kita di sini. Yang pertama sekali RTB Baling. RTB Baling ini lebih kurang dalam kos keseluruhan lebih kurang dalam yang sedang berjalan fasa 1 ini bukan 16 juta.
The other projects include the construction of a Sabo Dam to reduce the risk of debris flow worth RM22 million and several small projects that need to be expedited, such as deepening of rivers, building river embankments, repairing bridges and river trails. Datuk Seri Tuan Ibrahim said satellite data from the Malaysian Meteorological Department showed that the distribution of rainfall was more than double in Gunung Inas, which is upstream of Sungai Tiak and Sungai Kupang, adding that the heavy rain exceeded the capacity to hold water upstream, causing the flash floods. The Malaysian Armed Forces ATM will build a Bailey Bridge to replace the bridge between Kampung Iboy and Kampung Masjid Iboy in Baling Kedah, which collapsed when floods hit the villages last Monday. Senior Defence Minister Datuk Seri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein said he had instructed the Royal Army Engineers Regiment RAJD to build the bridge. In a posting on Facebook today, Datuk Seri Hishamuddin said the Rural Development Minister Datuk Seri Mazzi Khalid had contacted him yesterday and requested the ATM's assistance to build the Bailey Bridge. He added the RAJD had deployed its team to check out the location so that the construction of the bridge can be done as soon as possible, saying they had left for Baling this morning. The Baling floods had claimed 3 lives so far and destroyed at least 7 houses in Kampung Iboy. The Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry, KPD-NHEP, will be intensifying enforcement to curb the smuggling and misappropriation of subsidised cooking oil to neighbouring countries. Its Minister Datuk Seri Alexander Nantalinggi admitted that the crime was rampant in states bordering neighbouring countries including Kedah, Kelantan, Sabah and Sarawak.
setakat ini rampasan jumlahnya dah kita dapat nilai adalah 1.5 juta. Ya. Setakat hari ini dalam masa yang terdekat ini saja. Ya. Maknanya penguatkuasaan kita telah bergerak selama ini, kerana itulah kita dapat membuat tanggapan dan mengesan kesalahan itu, dan juga selepas kesiasatan mereka ini didenda dan dikompaunkan.
Met after visiting the Kasam certified lab in Klang, the minister said enforcement cooperation in the land and sea border areas between the police, army and customs was needed to thwart attempts to smuggle subsidized goods. On the allegedly insufficient supply of packaged cooking oil in the home market, he said the current allocation of 60,000 tonnes should meet domestic demand, as data showed Malaysians only need 55,000 tonnes. He said the ministry would continue to monitor and take legal action against those involved in the abuse of subsidized cooking oil. All ministries must fine-tune their own strategic communications to ensure that information on every strategic decision made by the government is delivered to the people accurately and promptly. Minister of Communication and Multimedia Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the Cabinet also decided the ministries must intensify their information delivery efforts to enable the people to understand the importance and rationale for every action taken by the government.
Rakyat mahukan lebih banyak maklumat sampai kepada mereka, dan juga beberapa keputusan-keputusan strategik kerajaan yang perlu diperjelaskan dengan baik kepada rakyat, terutama sekali dalam keadaan suasana yang berubah, seperti suasana ekonomi yang sedang melanda seluruh dunia, yang akan membawa kepada implikasi yang berbagai-bagai. Dan ini kita perlu meningkatkan kefahaman rakyat tentang apa yang sedang berlaku dan rasional kepada tindakan-tindakan yang kerajaan lakukan.
Met after attending strategic communication engagement session with senior government officials in Putrajaya, Tan Sri Anwar said the implementation and planning of strategic communication of each ministry would be done in a more integrated manner by breaking away from the culture of working in silos. Meanwhile, Tan Sri Anwar said the government always listens and takes note of complaints voiced by the people via the social media platforms. He said matter voices out by the people would be used to analyse the public sentiments on a daily basis by each ministry to find solutions or actions for the benefit of the people. Tan Sri Anwar said each ministry should take note of the issues and concerns voiced out by the people on social media, as these were reported faster by netizens.
Jadi biasanya permasalahan rakyat di bawah itu lebih cepat dilaporkan oleh netizen ataupun keluhan-keluhan rakyat keluar daripada akaun-akaun social media mereka. Jadi kita tidak boleh membiarkan begitu saja, kita kena sentiasa melihat apa yang berlaku dalam ruangan social media, dan tidak salah untuk kita mengambil tindakan secara proaktif setelah kita mendengar keluhan rakyat walaupun datang dalam bentuk social media.
The Real Estate and Housing Developers Association Malaysia Reda, Ministry of Housing and Local Government KPKT and Terima Omnia Berhad will be jointly organising the Jom Beli Rumah Carnival to encourage home ownership among the people. To be held at the Mid-Valley Exhibition Centre from 15 until 17 July, the carnival would mainly cater to the B40 and M40 income groups, featuring affordable properties priced from RM250,000 onwards.
Inflation rises, there's uncertainty, and then the question of affordability comes in. But as we look further down the line to the medium and long term, 3 to 5 years out, you will find that properties are a good hedge against inflation. So I think if people can think far enough, it's unfortunate that there is that sort of inflationary pressure, but in the long run, it will augur well for the property environment.
Although interest rates have been fluctuating, he said the property segment would retain its value in the long run and hopefully outpace inflation as well. As for the carnival, Datuk Tong said 17 top property developers, 6 financial institutions and several government agencies will be participating in the 3-day carnival. The opening ceremony is scheduled to be officiated by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob and KPKT Minister Datuk Seri American on 15 July. The National Unity Ministry, through the Malaysian Indian Community Transformation Unit (MITRA), has allocated a grant of about 13.07 million ringgit to provide preschool education to 5,164 Indian children aged 4 to 6 from the B40 group. In a statement today, the ministry said the grant covered the financing of education fees for the 2022-2023 school sessions from March this year to February next year. National Unity Minister Datuk Halimah Mohamad Sadiq in the same statement said the assistance was aimed at ensuring the B40 Indian children also had the opportunity to attend preschools as preparation to enter Year 1 next year. He said this initiative can ease the financial burden of parents in facing the rising cost of living. The grant also covers the provision of books and worksheets, a starter kit comprising uniforms and stationery, as well as subsidies for the preparation of breakfast for the B40 children. The grant was channeled through 5 organisations involving 214 preschools in Kedah, Penang, Perak, Pahang, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, Johor and Kuala Lumpur. Coming up, Bank Negara raises OPR again by 25 basis points. The Perdana Masyarakat Cleanliness Program will strengthen camaraderie among Malaysian pilgrims and gives a positive impact on the country's image. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department of Religious Affairs, Datuk Idris Ahmad, said the initiative has been organised since 2017 when Malaysian Hajj pilgrims are in the 3 locations.
Kerana ianya sebenarnya selari dengan Islam, selari dengan Islam. Kaedah kita, tertib kita di bumi yang berkah ini, bumi yang makbul ini, maka tentu antara perkaranya akhlak kita, disiplin kita, dan tentu kita lakukan yang terbaik. Dan kita ada nilai tambah lagi ialah kita tunjukkan kita bukan saja bercakap tentang Islam itu bersih, tapi kita mesti juga dilihat Islam itu mengutamakan kebersihan.
He said this to reporters after launching the program at Land Premium Hotel in Mecca. When addressing Malaysian pilgrims, Datuk Idris said the campaign could be the best benchmark for Malaysian pilgrims in the future, as well as being made an example by Muslim countries. He called on the pilgrims to give their full cooperation to TH to facilitate and ensure the success of the Masyarakat Cleanliness Program. Datuk Idris also said that he hoped all the pilgrims have been prepared mentally and physically to perform the wukuf, the focal point of the pilgrimage, which is scheduled on Friday, adding that they should help each other out in the spirit of Keluarga Malaysia. About 1.9 million vehicles are expected to use the North-South Expressway every day from tomorrow to 12 July in conjunction with the coming Aidil-Adha celebration, which falls this Sunday. As such, highway users are advised to adhere to the Travel Time Advisory (TTA) issued by PLUS to reduce traffic congestion and make the necessary preparation for a longer journey. Plus Malaysia Berhad Chief Operating Officer Datuk Zakaria Ahmad Zabidi said motorists from the Klang Valley heading towards Perlis, Kedah, Penang, Perak and Johor are advised to enter the highway before 10 a.m. on 7th to 10th July. While highway users heading towards closer destinations or to other states are advised to enter the highway after 1 p.m. For the journey back to Klang Valley from 10th to 12 July, he said those from Perlis, Kedah, Penang, Perak, Johor and other states are advised to enter the highway before 9 a.m. He said using Waze or Google Maps is also highly recommended to help highway users better plan their journeys, adding that highway users should ensure they have sufficient balance in their touch-and-go cards or e-wallets to make payments at toll plazas. Bostat Holdings Berhad and Turkey's Great East capital GEC have teamed up to establish the Republic's first Islamic digital banking to tap the huge potential of 85 million population. Bostat's Deputy Group Managing Director Izzadin Daud said the company is planning to take up strategic investment in the venture. He said GEC is currently in the process of applying for the digital bank's license from the relevant Turkish authorities. With Bostat's experience and expertise through Affin Islamic Bank, Bostat hopes to be able to share Malaysia's expertise and knowledge to Europe.
Kita memang melihat benda ini sebagai satu strategic investment kepada Bostat untuk mengembangkan pelaburan kami di Turki dalam digital Islamic Bank. Yeah.
As you know, Malaysia is the world's largest basically ecosystem when it comes to Islamic finance, and Turkey has a lot to learn from Malaysia, and we're embarking on a new journey to launch the very first digital bank with Islamic finance in Turkey. So we're going to get the best-in-class know-how from Malaysia and all the experience in Islamic finance and apply it in Turkey.
They were met after the exchange of the document of understanding between both companies to take up the venture in Istanbul. The event was witnessed by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, who is on a 4-day official visit to Turkey. GEC hopes to realise the establishment of the Islamic digital banking in Turkey by the first quarter of 2023. Malaysia is looking forward to new and expanding investments from Italy with a particular focus on new potential areas of growth. This includes in the field of machinery, automation, aerospace, green technology, food production, biotechnology, pharmaceuticals and other high technology industries, as well as digital investments. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Economy Datuk Seri Mustafa Muhammad said Malaysia recorded a significant 21.7% growth in total trade with Italy last year, while during the first 4 months of 2022, the figure increased by almost 30% year-on-year to about $1.5 billion.
Manufacturing projects. Malaysia would like to see more Italian investments in our country and in the region. There is no reason why Italy should stop seeing being only the third largest EU trading partner in Malaysia. Malaysia is proud to be home to a number of Italian investments.
In his keynote address at the high-level dialogue on ASEAN-Italy Economic Relations 2022 today, the minister said Italian investments are generally perceived in Malaysia to signify quality investments that create quality jobs for locals. This, he said, is due to Italy's reputation as being home to a number of world-renowned multinational corporations, as well as being a major exporter of luxury goods. Bank Negara Malaysia BNM has increased the overnight policy rate OPR by 25 basis points to 2.25% during its 4th Monetary Policy Committee MPC meeting this year. In its monetary policy statement today, BNM said the ceiling and floor rates of the corridor of the OPR are correspondingly increased to 2.5% and 2% respectively. Amid the positive growth prospects for the Malaysian economy, the MPC decided to further adjust the degree of monetary accommodation. According to BNM, this is consistent with the MPC's view that the unprecedented conditions that necessitated a historically low OPR have continued to recede. It said at the current OPR level, the stance of monetary policy remains accommodative and supportive of economic growth. The Central added that the MPC would continue to assess evolving conditions and their implications on the overall outlook to domestic inflation and growth. Any adjustments to the monetary policy settings going forward would be done in a measured and gradual manner, ensuring that monetary policy remains accommodative to support sustainable economic growth in an environment of price stability. Coming up in sports, national shuttlers spring surprise in Malaysia Masters. National mixed doubles duo Ho Pangron, Teo Yi Wei are unfazed about facing reigning Olympic champions Wang Yiliu, Huang Dongping of China in the second round of the 2022 Malaysia Masters tomorrow. Despite being the underdogs, Pangron vowed to give the fourth-seeded Chinese pair a run for their money. Pangron Yi Wei, ranked 154th in the world, created a huge upset against world number 71 pair Kim Woon-ho, Jong Na-eun of South Korea as the Malaysians came from behind to win it 23-25, 21-8, 21-7. Speaking to reporters after the match against the South Koreans in the first round at the Axiata Arena today, Yi Wei said the partnership was getting better since the two combined in Indonesia Masters last month.
Second set slowly kita baru dapat je taktik dan kita tukar taktik dan lebih senang untuk dapatkan game lah.
Memang saya masuk court, saya tak kisah siapa lah. Dalam court saya cuba cakap dengan Pangron, kita trust ourselves then believe our coach, we fight all out on the court.
National men's singles main shuttler Ng Zi-yong is delighted at the prospect of meeting Taiwanese star Chou Tian-chen in the second round of the 2022 Malaysia Masters tomorrow. This, Zi-yong said, was due to the fact that he rarely got a chance of meeting top shuttlers in the tournaments that he participated in the past. The world number 48 player had earlier sprung a surprise against world number 31 Brian Yang 21-15, 21-15 in their first ever meeting in the opening round of the Malaysia Masters today. Speaking to reporters after the match against Yang, the 22-year-old shuttler was pretty pleased that he managed to catch the Canadian player by surprise as he dominated the opponent from start to finish en route to winning the game.
I don't think, like normally I say, I did not think about win or loss. I just focus my match. It's getting tired. It's getting tired to play the higher ranking player because it's totally different. Yeah.
Melaka United FC players have been told to stay focused and continue their winning momentum after beating Selangor FC 2-0 in their Super League match at the Hang Jebat Stadium in Krubong last night. Acting head coach Muhammad Asri Ninggal said the victory was the result of good teamwork by his charges. The two goals netted by imported player from Nigeria, Efedayo Olusegun, helped the Mosidia to grab 3 valuable points despite up against the more fancied Red Giants. The victory enabled Melaka United to improve their position to 8th place in the league after collecting 12 points, while Selangor remain in 7th place also with 12 points but have a better goal difference.
I think one thing kita pemain tunjukkan bahawa dengan JDT kita boleh draw. So even saya rasa saya cakap dengan dia orang kalau kita dah menang, kita dah draw dengan JDT, maknanya you can main dengan tim yang bagus. Why not kita kekalkan momentum tu, terutama kita bermain di tempat sendiri. So kita jadikan sebagai satu benchmark di mana kalau boleh graf tu kita jangan turun, kita still maintain or we become better than apa yang kita buat.
Alright, so that concludes this evening's news at 10. In our top story, 4 urgent projects in Baling to prevent flash floods from recurring. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Shuhada Arifin. Stay tuned to saluran Berita RTM, Salam Keluarga Malaysia, and have a pleasant evening.